The year was 1945, a year that would be etched into the annals of history forever. World War II raged on, leaving deep scars across the globe. Cities lay in ruins and countless lives were lost in the relentless conflict. On August 6th, the world changed forever. The date marked a pivotal moment in human history. A blinding flash over Hiroshima, Japan, announced the dawn of the atomic age. The sheer power of the explosion was unlike anything the world had ever seen. Just 3 days later, Nagasaki suffered the same fate. The devastation was unimaginable and the impact was felt worldwide. These events marked a turning point in human history. The world had entered a new, terrifying era. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki were acts of unprecedented destruction. Entire cities were obliterated in an instant. Thousands perished in an instant. The human cost was staggering, with countless lives lost and many more forever altered. The cities were reduced to rubble. Buildings that once stood tall were now nothing more than piles of debris. The devastating power of the atom had been unleashed upon the world. The mushroom clouds that rose above Hiroshima and Nagasaki became symbols of this new, destructive force. The use of atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki remains a controversial topic. Debates continue to this day about the necessity and morality of such actions. Some argue that it was necessary to end the war quickly. They believe that the bombings forced Japan to surrender, thus saving countless lives that would have been lost in a prolonged conflict. Others believe it was a morally reprehensible act. They argue that the use of such a devastating weapon on civilian populations can never be justified. Regardless of one's stance, the bombings serve as a stark reminder of the destructive capacity of nuclear weapons. They highlight the need for caution and responsibility in the use of such power. The legacy of Hiroshima and Nagasaki is a world forever changed. These cities have rebuilt and thrived, but the memories of that fateful time remain. The threat of nuclear annihilation hangs over humanity. The existence of such weapons continues to pose a grave danger to global security. It is a threat we must confront with courage and determination. The lessons of Hiroshima and Nagasaki must guide us as we strive for a world free from the fear of nuclear devastation. The atomic bombs dropped on Japan, nicknamed Little Boy and Fat Man, were technological marvels of their time. These bombs represented the pinnacle of scientific achievement and military power during World War II. The decision to use them was not taken lightly, as their destructive potential was unprecedented. Little Boy, a uranium gun-type bomb, detonated over Hiroshima with the force of 15,000 tons of TNT. The explosion obliterated nearly everything within a 1-mile radius, causing immense devastation and loss of life. The immediate impact was catastrophic, but the long-term effects of radiation exposure were equally harrowing. Fat Man, a plutonium implosion device, devastated Nagasaki with an even greater yield. This bomb was more complex in design, utilizing a series of explosive lenses to compress the plutonium core and initiate a nuclear chain reaction. The resulting explosion was even more powerful than Little Boy, causing widespread destruction and suffering. These early atomic bombs were relatively crude compared to modern nuclear weapons. Today's nuclear arsenals are far more sophisticated, with bombs that are smaller, more efficient, and exponentially more powerful. The evolution of nuclear technology has been driven by both scientific curiosity and the relentless pursuit of military superiority. They relied on simple fission reactions, splitting uranium or plutonium atoms to release enormous energy. This process, known as nuclear fission, involves the nucleus of an atom splitting into smaller parts, releasing a tremendous amount of energy in the form of an explosion. The science behind it was groundbreaking and opened the door to a new era of energy and weaponry. The technology was in its infancy, but the destructive potential was clear. Early tests demonstrated the sheer power of these weapons, leaving no doubt about their capability to cause unprecedented destruction. The world watched in awe and fear as the first nuclear explosions lit up the sky. The development of nuclear weapons was a product of the Manhattan Project. This massive, top-secret initiative was launched by the United States during World War II with the goal of developing the first atomic bomb. It brought together some of the greatest scientific minds of the time, working tirelessly to unlock the secrets of nuclear energy. This top-secret US government program brought together the brightest minds in physics, Scientists from various disciplines collaborated, sharing their knowledge and expertise to achieve a common goal. The project was a testament to human ingenuity and the power of scientific collaboration. Scientists like Robert Oppenheimer and Enrico Fermi raced against time to unlock the secrets of the atom. Their work was driven by the urgency of the war and the fear that Nazi Germany might develop nuclear weapons first. The stakes were incredibly high and the pressure to succeed was immense. The success of the Manhattan Project ushered in a new era of warfare. The atomic bomb changed the nature of conflict, introducing a weapon of mass destruction that could annihilate entire cities in an instant. It marked the beginning of the nuclear age, a period defined by the threat of nuclear war and the quest for nuclear deterrence. The destructive power of nuclear weapons dwarfed anything that had come before. Traditional bombs and artillery were no match for the sheer force of an atomic explosion. The world had to grapple with the reality of a new kind of warfare, one that could potentially lead to the end of the civilization as we know it. The world had entered the atomic age, forever changed by the events of 1945. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki were a stark reminder of the devastating power of nuclear weapons and the need for international cooperation to prevent their use. The legacy of these events continues to shape global politics and the quest for peace. The decades following World War II witnessed a chilling arms race, a period marked by intense rivalry and the looming threat of nuclear conflict. The United States and the Soviet Union competed to build bigger and more powerful nuclear weapons, each striving to outdo the other in a show of military might and technological prowess. The yield of these weapons increased dramatically from kilotons to megatons. This escalation was not just a matter of numbers, but a profound shift in destructive capability. Early atomic bombs, like those used in Japan, had yields in the kiloton range, which means thousands of tons of TNT. The devastation they caused was unprecedented at the time. Thermonuclear bombs, or hydrogen bombs, developed in the 1950s, unleashed the power of fusion. This process, which powers the sun, allowed for exponentially greater explosive power. These weapons had yields in the megaton range, which means millions of tons of TNT. The sheer scale of destruction they could cause was almost unimaginable. The development of thermonuclear weapons marked a significant escalation in the nuclear arms race. It was a period of intense scientific and military activity, with both superpowers pushing the boundaries of what was possible. These weapons were hundreds of times more powerful than the bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The comparison between the two types of bombs highlights the rapid advancements in nuclear technology. The potential for destruction was now on a global scale. The world had to grapple with the reality that a nuclear conflict could lead to unprecedented devastation, affecting not just the warring nations, but the entire planet. The arms race led to the stockpiling of vast arsenals of nuclear weapons. Both the United States and the Soviet Union amassed thousands of warheads, each capable of causing massive destruction. By the 1980s, the United States and the Soviet Union possessed tens of thousands of nuclear warheads. This accumulation of weapons created a precarious balance of power known as mutually assured destruction. The world lived under the constant threat of nuclear annihilation. Public fear was palpable, and governments conducted drills to prepare for the worst. The shadow of the bomb loomed large over everyday life, influencing politics, culture, and international relations.